Okay, now we're going to put those three ideas together: the storytelling, the fantasy, and the deep, dark desires. But before we do, let's just talk about money. Because even though this book's called Money Surge, we haven't actually even spoken about money yet. So the way that we can look at money is we can understand that it is a type of an energetic exchange. If we go all the way back through history, I'm sure at some point in time, there was no money. We used barter services. So we would exchange something for something else. And so eventually the money's come in, and because of the beliefs and experiences around us, not everyone has had the greatest experience with money. And it has probably become something that it was probably never designed to do. Before, as a barter exchange, it was built on swapping something for something, whether it was experience with knowledge or a product for a service, whatever it was supposed to be an equal exchange. Then, of course, we all start to evolve. People start to view things differently. This exchange is bigger than this exchange. And this is going to be the same thing with money. And then with the whole new idea of a different type of money, with our Bitcoin and our NFTs, it's like money doesn't really have that substance or energetic hold that it used to, because you can't really place a value on it externally. It's only going to be your experience with money on how it feels for you. So $50 to someone who's living on the street is $50 different to a billionaire who has lots of money. Even though they're both still $50, and we can view it in certain ways to different people based on their experiences and their beliefs and the stories and the way it feels within their body, they're going to look at that differently. So we need to take a step back from money as seeing it as this up on a pedestal, ultimate, greatest tool that we need in order to not only get the things we want, but to be the proof of our success, or to give us certain meaning, or to make us be or look different to someone else. So once we can break apart what money actually is, it's going to be a lot easier. And how that happens is through our money stories and working on some of those, which we'll get to a little bit later. But now what we're doing for this first idea is just understanding that money is still just part of our energetics. It's still just part of the codes of who we are. And it's only through the experience and whatever you want to believe in of how it has evolved into whatever it looks like for you. So with this book on manifesting money, I wanted it to make it where you desired money in a way that felt the best feeling it could for you, in order to get your vibration up, in order to bring through those desires, to see if there was anything on top of that ultimate feeling you were trying to bring through, in order for you to bring that money to you. So how do we do that? Well, we've already spoken about storytelling, fantasy, desire, and that sexual feeling, that sexual tension, the orgasmic part of being a human. So we're going to put all that together and create stories based on our own desires to create that orgasmic desire for money. Because even through that desiring of something sexually orientated, it's the feeling of wanting it and building up towards it that holds a lot of power. That holding the tension of the thing that you want can sometimes feel so much better than actually getting to that thing that you want. Once you create that thing you want, or you get that thing that you want, it's over. Now what? You need to build up something new. So what I've done for money is create it as a person. And because we're talking about desires and holding the tension of that, I'm creating the feeling of what that would feel like but I'm making it look like an actual person. So I'm making that energy of money look like a man that I would desire. And you can do this for whatever you want. It doesn't have to be something like this. It doesn't have to be something that is sexually desiring in the way that it is the attraction to someone else. But in order to facilitate that feeling for me, that was how I was able to bring it into what I believe is that highest feeling I could muster, was thinking about money in a way that was exciting or something that can get you into that place of feeling really good. So there's a visualization in here to help you create an image for yourself of something that you desire. You do not need to do the same thing as me. You could make it a chocolate cake, and when you taste it, that's how good money feels. It can be whatever you want. It's something for you. But for me, as someone who is where I'm at right now, this just made sense for the process of where I'm at. And we get more about this in book 2, because, you know, when you become a widow and you've pretty much only been with the same one person for, you know, nearly 20 years, there's a lot to unpack on the other side of that. But there's a lot more coming on that part of it. But that's why what happened for me was this whole creation in how I created money as a desire by using that feeling of leading up to a sexual release, because that was the ultimate feeling that I could muster in order to desire something, because I wanted to find a way to desire money. So the way that I have created the book and the way that we're going to add into those 21-day protocol pages, planner pages, are creating this story based on whatever it is your desire is. And I'm just using my example as a man. So for me, if you pull all those pieces together, just say, okay, 21 days, I want $10,000. So what we would do then is create some scenario in my head where this sexy looking man, I hate that word sexy, it sounds weird. So if we're creating this man or whatever it is that we want to desire as money, so when we're thinking about trying to manifest $10,000, we're actually thinking about this person and what they can do, how they can make you feel, what that would feel like if you were with that person and you were doing all those things you want to do with that person, and how would that make you feel. We're getting into the energy of that, and that is coming from my own deep dark desires. It's coming from me wanting to manifest that money. I am then creating these weird wild fantasies in my own mind through storytelling in ways that I can change every single day. It's not like, okay, I'm creating this scenario like, you know, some terrible porn video with the pool man coming at the door and knocking in. I'm not doing that. I'm creating weird fantasy made up stories in every moment to get in the energy of wanting that money. Because if I change that and instead went, I can see $10,000 in my bank account. Oh, that feels so good. Like, yes, that can feel really good. Yes, that can be really powerful for you if you can envision yourself feeling that and experiencing that. But if I'm able to get into an even more desiring state, a more high frequency state, a place where I do have more of that feel good feelings within my body, that emotional response is then matching up with my brain, matching up with this idea and these thoughts of how I want to create this money, but I'm not giving it an actual way in which it's coming to me. Instead, I'm creating this desire based on how I'm feeling. Even though it is, I want to manifest $10,000, but I'm making it something totally different so the energy of that can come to me in whatever way it wants to. So create money as your desire in some big ridiculous fantasy storytelling place, because what happens is once we bring in this story, we will be using that each day for you to get into the feeling of it. So you can make a new story every day. You can make a new story 100 times a day if you want, but it's about creating what you want money to look like based on something that you really desire. Because just remember, all these things is we're really messing up all this deep dark down stuff. So think about a fish tank, and when you start shaking everything up and you start getting all that gross and debris stuff in the water, this is what's going to happen. So buckle up. It can sometimes get messy, but because you're driving it from the things that you desire, because you're getting into this better state, because you're using this increased motion and you're feeling good, it's not going to feel like, oh, I gotta heal this, this happened, my life sucks. You're going to be in a better state, and that's the whole purpose of the 21 days. So you create your own little fantasy, listen to the visualization, create your own whatever it is, and you can change it. Like, just remember, this is yours. You can create it however you want to create it. You can create this image however you want it to look like. It's all what is going to feel good for you, and how you can make whatever that thing is that you desire, make it into money so that you want it so much in a way that it just feels good, not because you just want to have it in order to fix or prove or do something.